Hello, this is Adolf. Welcome to the video lecture series on the course of Design of Steel Structure. This is the lecture number 5 in the unit number 4, Design of Compression Member. Uh, in this video, we are going to see about the problems that are related to the compression member. Problem number 1. Determine the maximum load that a discontinuous stud having a single angle ISA 80 by 50 by 6 mm, length 1.75 meter in a roof truss can carry if it is connected at the ends by a single rivet. Take Fy as 250 megapascal. For a given angle, the cross sectional area and radius of gyration are 746 mm square and 10.7 mm respectively. Take n is equal to 1.4 and E is equal to 2 into 10 to the power 5 megapascal. With the permissible stress sigma AC given by the following formula. So by this formula, we have to calculate the safe maximum compressive load P. This sigma AC into A. We have to find. So how we can do it? So in the question solution, the question Fy is given as 250 Newton per mm square. Then R minimum is given, that is 10.7 mm. N is given 1.4 and E is given 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per mm square. We have to find P is equal to sigma AC into AE. So AE is given in the question, that is 746 mm square, that is given in the question, and sigma AC we have to find by the formula 0.6 Fy FCC divided by Fy power n plus FCC power n whole power 1 by n. It should be less than or equal to 0.6 Fy. So by this formula, we have to find the sigma AC. So Fy, it is directly given in the question. What is FCC? So FCC is elastic critical stress in compression, that is found out by pi square E by lambda square. So that is equal to pi square E by KL by R minimum whole square. So what is the effective length KL? So KL is, in this question, it is clearly given, it is a discontinuous stud having a single angle connected with one rivet. So your KL is equal to 1.0 into L. So that is equal to 1.75 meter. 1750 mm. So this is our effective length. So slenderness ratio is KL by R minimum. So KL is 1750 by 10.7, that is equal to 163.55. This is the lambda. So now lambda we get, so we'll go to FCC. So pi square E by KL by R minimum whole square. So if we substitute here, pi square into 2 into 10 to the power 5 by 163.55 square. So our FCC value is 73.79 Newton per mm square. So this is our FCC value. So we know in a formula sigma AC, 0.6 Fy we know, Fcc we know, so we can substitute everything in the formula because already n is given in the question. So if we substitute the values, sigma AC is equal to 0.6 into 250 into 73.79 divided by 250 into 1.4 plus 73.79 into 1.4. This will be whole power of 1 by 1.4 should be less than or equal to 0.6 Fy. So the value of this one is 39.39 Newton per mm square. So this value is less than 0.6 into 250 is equal to 150. So hence it is safe. Sorry, not safe, it is okay. So section is okay. Sigma value is okay. Then we go for the maximum compressive load carrying capacity of the strut. P is equal to sigma AC into AE. So sigma AC we already found out 39.39 into what is the area value, that is 746. So we will get it as 29.38 into 10 to the power 3 Newton or 29.38 kilonewton. So this is the answer for the problem number 1. The second question, a 6 mm thick mild steel ISA 60 by 60 angle is to be used as a stud in a truss. One leg of the stud is connected to the cassette plate with a single row of 20 mm rivet. Determine the load carrying of the strut in tension and compression. Assume short column action and the area of the cross section of the angle as 896 mm square. So in this problem we have to find the load carrying in tension and load carrying in compression we have to find. Assuming it has a short column action. So solution. So we know yield stress, it is assumed as a 250 Newton per mm square. So nominal diameter of the rivet is given as 20 mm. So gross diameter of the rivet, this is nominal diameter of rivet, this is gross diameter of rivet. So gross diameter, it is less than 25, so we have to add 1.5. So 20 plus 1.5, that is equal to 21.5 mm. So this is the gross diameter, and area is given. Effective area is 896 mm square is given. The load carrying capacity of the strut in compression. So load carrying capacity of strut in compression is P is equal to sigma AC into A. This is the load carrying capacity A. So sigma AC, so we can find the sigma AC by 0.6 Fy Fcc by Fy power n plus Fcc power n whole power 1 by n should be less than or equal to 0.6 Fy. But here in the question it says we have to assume it as a short column section. So if the strut behaves like, if a strut behaves short column, so in a short column slenderness ratio is small, and the section will fail in, and the section will fail by crushing or yielding. So crushing or yielding. So the allowable stress, the allowable compression stress, allowable compressive stress, how we are getting is sigma AC is equal to, we are neglecting this term, we are using this maximum value we are going to use. So that is equal to 0.6 into Fy. So 0.6 into 250. So why we are eliminating this one, this term means, because here we are assuming it is a short column section. So short column, it will fail in a crushing or yielding. So yielding means it will, once it reaches the above strength maximum limit, then only it will fail by crushing or yieldings. That's why we are taking the sigma AC value to the maximum limit. So that's why we are using sigma AC is equal to 0.6 Fy. So 0.6 into 250, we will get 150 Newton per mm square. This is for compressive stress. And we have to calculate sigma AT, that is allowable what, tensile axial, allowable axial tensile stress, that is equal to 0.6 Fy. Here also 150 Newton per mm square, 150 150 Newton per mm square. So the load carrying capacity in compression, so PAC, load carrying capacity in compression, is equal to sigma AC into AE. So sigma AC is 150 into, what is the AE value? It is given as 896. So that is equal to 134.4 into 10 to the power 3 Newton, or 134.4 kilo Newton. So this is the load carrying capacity of a strut in compression. So here, but our problem not stopped here. We have to find the load carrying capacity of a strut in tension, that is PT. Load carrying capacity in PT, that is sigma AT. In tension, we won't use effective area. We will use net area, area of the net. So the net effective area, A net, is equal to the previous unit in the tension member. We study A1 plus K1 A2, K1 A2. We know K1 is equal to 3A1 by 3A1 plus A2. So how we can find the A1? A1 is 60 connected leg minus diameter of the, gross diameter of the rivet minus thickness of the angle by 2, that is 6 by 2 into thickness. So it will give 213 mm square, whereas A2 is equal to 60 minus 6 by 2 connected leg minus thickness of the member into thickness by 2 into thickness. It will give 342 mm square. So K1 is equal to 3 times of 213 by 3 times of 213 plus 342. So our K1 value is 0.65. So our area of the net is equal to A1 plus A2 into K1. So A1 is 213 plus A2 is 342 into 0.65. So our area of the net is equal to 435.3 mm square. The load carrying capacity of the strut in tension is equal to sigma AC sigma AT into area of the net. So sigma AT is 150 into 435.3. So it will comes as 65.29 into 10 to the power 3 Newton, or 65.29 kilo Newton. So this is the solution for the given problem. So in this video we covered two problems, and the coming video we will do some problems on the design of compression member. Thank you.